Well, alleged gang boss Ralph Stanfield and several co-accused have now officially had their case transferred to the Western Cape High Court. This follows their appearance in the Cape Town Magistrate's Court today, where the state confirmed its now finalised disclosure of evidence. While commercial crime charges were provisionally withdrawn in May, including corruption and tender fraud, Stanfield still faces serious allegations. Let's get you the latest with our reporter, Vaylen Kirtley. Vaylen, good afternoon to you. So when we say the state has now confirmed disclosure of evidence, these are all sort of very technical legal terms. Give us a sense of what that means and what the charges are that Stanfield and those co-accused will face.
Thank you very much, Michelle. A very good afternoon to you. A very good afternoon to our viewers. There are a number of charges in the charges sheet and in the indictment because there's a total of 15 that are accused in this case. Ralph Stanfield standing as accused number one, his wife, Nicole Johnson, accused number two. So what we had today is the previous time that we were in court here at the Cape Town Magistrate's Court. You'll remember among the co-accused, which almost reached 30 in this case, it included fraud and corruption. Those charges were provisionally withdrawn. The MPA said that new evidence had come to light, and once the investigations into that had been complete, they may be included back. But now this is the new indictment. It was also postponed because the co-accused defense, their lawyers representing them, had asked for information. So all the statements and the facts of the case to be brought, and that was provided today. The final one being handed over to the team of defense attorneys for the different co-accused this morning, a statement from a witness, part of which was redacted. And then it was set down by Magistrate Alida Tiart that it will now go ahead at the Western Cape High Court with a pre-trial conference. And it's maybe some time before we actually really get to see some of the witnesses take the stand in this matter, because even the pre-trial conference, which is set down to begin on the 7th of November at the Western Cape High Court, is a procedural event which has to include the state's attorney and the state's representatives, as well as all the representatives of the different co-accused in the matter. Just to shed a little bit more light on what we saw today inside court is the Western Cape's MPA spokesperson, Eric Ntabazalila. Eric, thank you so much for chatting to Newzroom Afrika. So we've gotten to a point now where it's a pre-trial hearing. Just how important is this in light of this case where we saw Ralph Stanfield and his wife Nicole being arrested back in September 2023?
It's a big move. It shows that we are moving towards the start of the trial. You'll remember at our last appearance, all the legal representatives of the accused complained that they didn't have all the further particulars, including the statements that you mentioned. We had a meeting with them on the 24th of June with almost all the legal representatives, where we shared everything. When we came here this morning, they all confirmed that they have received those. Hence, we've postponed the matter now to, in fact, transfer the matter to the High Court for a pre-trial conference on the 7th of November. One can say it's a big move because it means we're heading towards the direction of starting with the trial.
The investigation that had to be started because new evidence came to light regarding the fraud and corruption charges, which were once a part of this case, but which the last time we were here were actually withdrawn. How far is that investigation? Can we expect those charges to be included when this trial does go to the Western Cape High Court?
That investigation is progressing nicely. We are hoping and working towards ensuring that when we go for the pre-trial, those accused are added to the docket. But we cannot comment further than that because it's an ongoing investigation and anything can happen. But our prayer is for it to be finalized before we go to the pre-trial conference in November, so that we can add those accused. You'll remember all those charges that relate to all the economic charges that we preferred against these accused, including the tender of the city of Cape Town. So the charges that this 15 is facing relates to poker, being members of a gang and abetting, and the activities of a gang, murder, attempted murder, illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, robbery, and so on. So we hope that when that investigation is finalized, all those economic charges will be added into this docket, and everyone else will go to court at the High Court.
Ralph Stanfield and his wife did apply for bail when they first appeared. That was denied. Have any of the other co-accused requested to apply for bail in the interim?
If my memory serves me right, it was not only the two of them, there were others who applied for bail as well, that we succeeded in opposing bail. So far, there hasn't been any appeal in terms of they want to appeal that bail application.
Would the MPA be open, or has there been any requests to enter into some kind of a plea bargain with any of the co-accused?
Unfortunately, so far we have not been approached, and it would not be proper anyway to discuss that in public at this stage, because those discussions take place separately, and it's only during the start of the trial that we go to court and say so-and-so is working with the state, and it would be improper for us to discuss that now, especially for public consumption.
And when we came out of court, there were a couple of protesters that were standing here with placards, with some messages written in black and red. I know you may have been quite busy with some media engagements that you were busy with, but they were saying that the state is dragging their feet and they are making a spectacle and a show of Ralph Stanfield and his wife. They are breadwinners and the other co-accused in the matter. What do you have to say on that?
Look, when I came in, I saw that group. I was not even aware that they were protesting for this case. It's unfortunate because it doesn't look some of them have been following this case, because this case has not been dragged at all. And then there was nothing about bail. That's not being, the bail application being dragged, the process, because they applied for bail and they were denied bail. But you'll still find people complaining, putting up placards about the issue of bail, which was already finalized. So I don't think it's people who are really informed about the case and they've been following the case.
Eric Ntabazilila, thank you so much for chatting to Newzroom Afrika. Always appreciate your time. He is the MPA spokesperson here in the Western Cape province. And Michelle, as much as those charges related to fraud and corruption were dropped for some of the co-accused in this case, one of them being Malusi Boy, those 14 plus Ralph Stanfield who still stand accused in this case are still facing incredibly serious charges under the Prevention of Organised Crime Act. That's those crimes related to gang activities, attempted murder, possession of unlicensed firearm and illegal ammunition, as well as the murder and the killing of Rashid Stagi back in 2019, and other co-accused also being charged for the murder of 4 others, one among them being a former city official in Wendy Kloppers. So certainly movements in a very, very important case, especially where organised crime is top of mind, not only for this province, but in the country, Michelle.
Vaylen Kirtley, live to us there in Cape